Next stop, Rockefeller Center. While I was working on the recording of this, I was thinking of how nice and convenient it is for everyone on Roosevelt Island to have a subway line to be able to connect to other parts of the city. And that made me wonder, and I've mentioned this a few times on Twitter, what if possibly one day we could probably bring the one train over to Governor's Island and Staten Island, probably. Now, I'm not in favor of the MTA spending a lot of money for a project that may last a few years and become even more expensive as time goes along. Yet, let's say for the sake of argument, they actually bring the one train over to Staten Island. It was rare when I saw an express bus when I was a kid in Brooklyn. And basically, when we moved to Staten Island, when we were on the Gowanus Expressway moving to Staten Island, that was my first time ever really seeing the express bus more often. Now I basically see it every day. So if the one train could probably come over to Staten Island, might that get rid of the express bus? Not necessarily, because other boroughs also have express bus routes too. So basically, bringing the one train over would basically alleviate some of the overcrowding that happens, especially during the morning and evening commutes. Even at the end of this trip, despite it being a pandemic with the first row of seats being blocked behind the driver, I had no choice but to be behind those very seats in particular, only because the bus that I took was very crowded. In fact, it wasn't even the most crowded express bus trip that I took during the pandemic. The most crowded is actually coming in a few weeks when I took the Sim 1 seat back from Brooklyn. Now, if they probably bring the one train to Staten Island, the downside is that it may remove the express service between St. George and Prince's Bay. Because the downside of the Staten Island Railway is that there are only two tracks available. Although I don't think some would mind, only because for many that take the Staten Island Railway, they end up taking the ferry anyway. So if they're still on the train anyway going to Manhattan, it shouldn't be that much of a problem. What are your thoughts on that? Let me know in the comments.